Hello everybody, welcome to Red Tool House. Today we are in the winter wonderland that we've been experiencing the last 7 days. And we've run the gamut here. And we've got a challenge with obviously taking care of regular activities on the farm when we have this much snow. But I'm going to bring you guys along and just kind of show you what we're dealing with. I've got my youngest son, he's supposed to be at work today, so we're going to try to get him out, check on the road conditions further out. Obviously, we've got our very steep driveway to get to any portion of the farm to do maintenance or daily chores. We got to get down there. So let's see what we can figure out here. So in the last 7 days, we've had the gamut of storms. We had snow, which then changed over to ice, which we got about a quarter inch, half inch of ice, which caused power outages for a couple days. Then we got snow again, and then just last night we got another, looks like about 4 inches. So you can see here on the picnic table, with the temperatures not getting above freezing at all this week, we've got accumulation of about 12 inches with, here in the middle is a layer, yeah, there's a layer of solid ice right there. So it's made it tricky. It's definitely showing up with the chickens, and we'll get to that in a bit, and the issues we're having there. I've had some loss, and it's even gotten some of the predators fired up a little bit more because they know when things are down. But let's take care of the driveway. Those of you guys that followed the channel for a while, you're going to probably appreciate what I was finally able to get done to help with snow removal. So this is my Super ATV plow that I had for my Polaris, and I haven't owned a Polaris in over 5 years, but I never ever adapted this plow for the Pioneer, and the reason why is just haven't had a lot of snow to merit it. But it was really this adapter plate issue. I had to order another adapter, but Super ATV did not make an adapter for the Pioneer, and they said, well, you have to modify it. So I've had this plate down in the garage or down in the barn for I think about 4 years and just been in a box. So Tuesday, after we got our big snow, or our snow and ice, I decided that I was going to, it's time to adapt. So that's what I did. There we go. Now we're cooking with gas. Okay. Well, the plow did so well, I kind of got overzealous. I plowed the county road, which the county doesn't plow, so I plowed the county road down to the church. Saw one of the deacons of the local church was taking care of the parking lot there, so helped with that. Plowed out a couple neighbors' driveways and a couple roads going out to some other people. So, needless to say, it's been about 3 hours since I started down the driveway and about a half tank of gas. But it's done really great. Really happy with how the plow's done. Let me turn you guys around and show you. I just put some salt on the driveway, but the layer of salt that I had underneath earlier this week has done quite nicely. So this is the steepest part right here where I'm walking up, and that's what I just resalted. And you can see there we've got some nice clear patches. So exposed asphalt, not a problem to zip up and down that. I think we're hanging around 30 degrees right now. Our creek crossing is not frozen. It was earlier this week, but I busted through it when I drove out. So I'm going to run up to the house, get some pig feed and water for the chickens. We'll take care of those critters next. This is where the heat concerns people have for Honda Pioneers is paying off, because even with no windows, I'm toasty as long as I'm in the cab. So I want to do a quick shout out to this week's video sponsor. It's Ink Irma, and I showed this I think last week in last week's video, but this tape measure really come in handy when I'm trying to get some rough measurements, especially when I'm working by myself. The wood rack, for example, getting that set to go in the barn. So really going to come in handy on larger build projects. This has up to 130 feet range or 40 meter, so definitely gives you the opportunity to go well beyond what a standard tape measure has. And what's neat about this thing, when you use the laser, so in this example of determining the span between my two posts here, that measurement includes the actual carcass of the tape measure. So when I butt it up against the post here, shoot the other post, then it's giving me a measurement based upon that entire span that includes the carcass. So it's kind of handy. Keep that in mind. So especially when you're measuring interior walls or any type of interior compartments, then it gives you a true measurement there. You don't have to figure out the distance of the tape measure body. But I'll put a link below, and you guys can check that out if you're interested. And neat tool to have in the kit. All right, let's get back to snow. So the challenge I'm having with the chickens, other than just driving up here and all this ice and snow, is you can see with the poultry netting, it didn't do too good with the ice. It sagged really badly. In fact, let me get some water poured out for the chickens real quick, and I'll show you guys what compounded the issue. Hello, girls. Yeah, a bunch of chickens. So you can see with the buildup of ice, this is what I would consider my transmission line to go to the osprey poultry netting, and it's covered in a 1/4 inch of ice, which of course makes the poultry netting sag down. So with the saggy netting, then of course becomes other issues. Like I noticed some blood and feathers the other night and what appeared to be fox tracks. And I've had fox on the trail camera, so I believe he's found his way closer here. But here's the thing that's really concerning me. Let me zoom this out a little bit. This is why you think, well, Troy, get up there and won't you clear up your netting, get the ice off of it, protect your flock. Well, I tried that. Gotta be careful. Show you the example here. Check this out. That's broken completely in two. That's one of the main conductor leads on the horizontals. When I was pulling on this, and then another spot somewhere I broke it again, and I said, okay, forget it. If we're going to destroy the fencing, trying to put it back, we're going to leave it. So I just closed up the chickens last night completely inside the coop de ville. Noticed that too. It's a whole other story of how, well, there's the block of ice that was in the water bowl. These chickens have never been on snow, and usually they're apprehensive. The chickens in the chicken church, apprehensive. Okay, no big deal. These hateful things, when I came up to check on them, put their feeder inside, they got so spooked that half of the entire flock flew over the valley, all the way down to the sawmill, to where the pigs are. I spent probably 2 hours going around trying to scoop up as many chickens as possible as I could to stuff them back in the coop, and so the predators wouldn't get them. But it looks like I missed two, so there's two hiding under this autumn olive right now. So what I'll have to do is come back tonight after dark, because they'll probably come up and roost close by here before the fox shows up, and see if I can get them stuffed back in here before instant death. The chicken church chickens are fine. They hang out inside the church and of course underneath the church. And I just have to, right now with frozen water, I have to bring some water to them, but their feed system's still working fine. They now have to walk through the snow. They don't like walking through the snow. They'll walk down to get feed. So they're tucked away nicely. So the pigs just continue to be pigs. Other than the fact their bowls are buried somewhere in ice. So you guys get to eat off of the ice itself. Black-capped chickadees are digging it, aren't you? Little feathery things. So up in the farrowing barn is where the pigs hang out. I put down 2 big bales of hay, so they've got plenty of warmth to nestle into. As far as water goes, they've got open water behind us because let me show you. See if I can show you here. There's so much groundwater this time of year, subterranean groundwater, that it just doesn't freeze. So like right here, see this little, what is that? That's a wren, I believe, or a sparrow. Liam knows birds better than I do. Enjoying the water coming out of the side of the mountain there. And even when we had single digit temperatures, that water stayed running. So you can see even down there where their summertime wallow is, that stays open. So they got plenty of water. There's actually water closer up behind the farrowing barn. There's a similar spring up there that they keep opening up. So everything else has fared pretty well. As I mentioned, we had power outage. Not going to be running the mill anytime soon until the ice melts off of it, which is supposed to get in the 40s tomorrow, so that'll probably take care of that type of stuff. Still leave a snowpack for a while. Barn seems to be okay with the snow load, no issues there. So this is a good reminder as to why I need to get the sawmill shed underway. I was actually getting close to milling those. In fact, I thought maybe I'd have some time this week to run the mill, but I'm totally iced out. So even with, obviously I could blow this off and clear it and be able to get logs on there. The tractor would manipulate the logs here fine, since I've got logs right behind you guys, no big deal. But really the biggest issue is with the coating of ice on everything, the rails. The rails have a layer of ice, and that's going to affect tracking a little bit. And especially with a timber frame project, I want to be as true as possible. So, and not to mention, I don't want to just be out here monkeying around in all this slipping and sliding, frozen toes and all that stuff. All right, so I can't leave the plow on the side-by-side and put the side-by-side in the garage where I normally park it, because I don't have enough length there, since I've got pig feed and animal feed. And not to mention, when it's covered in snow like this, it, of course, will flood the garage. So just drop it here in bay 2 of the barn. Come grab it when we need it again. Well, we made do with what we could. Chores aren't really that much this time of year, especially with the short number of pigs we have and just the egg-laying chickens. No garden stuff or no broilers. So, well, comment below and let me know how you guys fared through the storm. I know it hit quite a bit of us here in the United States. So, let me know how you guys fared. Well, I think I'm going to step inside the workshops. There's not much more I can do out here, and start working on some projects. Maybe make a little sawdust. Check us out over on Woodcraft Revival if you want to see any projects coming out of the shop. All right. Thanks so much for watching. Pray y'all have a great week. Take care. Turn that heat up.